Hello everyone, welcome to Real Room Review, where today we will be unboxing the new OnePlus watch. Stay tuned. So welcome back everyone. Today I have in front of me the new OnePlus watch, which is super interesting because people are comparing it to the new Apple Watch. I'm not too tech savvy, so I'm going to be very honest up front. I'm doing this more from a simple functionality to a aesthetic review, because I myself find it really hard to find watches, for one, that fit my wrist. I do have a rather large wrist, and something that will keep track of my new lifestyle, which I hear that this watch has over 100 plus workouts, so I think it'd be really interesting to see. So initially, you have your standard size box. I actually brought out my husband's Apple Watch box in comparison for you guys. So we're gonna start just simply with the outside. For those of you who do have the Apple Watch, you do know it comes with the band box on its own and the actual watch box on its own. I'm doing this so you guys kind of get an idea of what you're getting in terms of packaging. So it's a good size comparison for you guys. Hopefully you can see that. And I also have with me the box for the Samsung Active 2 and the Galaxy Watch. Obviously not even the same realm, but just for size comparison for those of you who may have these lying around at home. There we go, got those out of the way. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this thing up. They always make these look so easy. It's never easy. There we go. And upon first looking at it, it's very simple. I like it though, because it's clean and kind of just literally just gives you what you're looking for. The watch, plastic covering, no extras, no fancy. This watch is placed at $159. However, we got it on an early release, so they gave you a $20 off coupon, which was super convenient, because everything all in, even with shipping, came out to $150 even. So I don't know if they'll have that sale continued for you guys. Hopefully they'll have something else maybe better. I'm not too sure, but that's exactly what we got it for. And you can see from right off the bat, this watch is pretty big compared to what I have right now. So you have pretty good sized band. I actually like the fact that this watch box has the impression of the watch, so it didn't slide around during shipping or anything. Very simple. I think it actually looks like it's mimicking the Apple Watch box. Again, all for comparison for you guys. So if you have one of these at home and you're expecting, maybe a different experience, or you want to know exactly what you're getting, this is pretty much it. It does have the accessories, which is just the instruction manual. Does anyone read them? I'm sure someone does, but I do not. So we have those off to the side, and right underneath that you have your charging cable, which to my understanding does have 2 prongs that help charge. Now this does have a 14-day battery life. Again, that's really depending on your usage and your activity with the watch. It just snaps right on. Whoop. I guess you gotta take off the plastic covering first. We'll just rip it off. You cannot just rip it off. There we go. You just take that off there. Here's your back end. Again, today I'm gonna solely do the appearance of it, because I think it would be really unfair to give you guys a review of the functionality without actually using the watch. So I'll just go based off of what I know from the outside, and then hopefully we'll be able to update you guys at least a week down the road. I think that would be a fair amount of time to give it the actual review it deserves. Now I know there's bigger channels out there who already have it, who had it weeks in advance and can give you the rundown, but for me it's a little bit different, simply because I've been using these other watches as everyday use, and I can tell you what I like about them and what I don't like about them. So again, going back to the actual screen, pretty large. I wouldn't say it's something like too overbearing. Maybe that's just for me because I do have a larger wrist, like I said. But here's also a size comparison for you guys to the Samsung Active 2. Big difference there. You also have the Samsung Galaxy Watch 42mm in rose gold and the Apple Watch 3, I believe. Oh, I lied. Series 4. So you have the Apple Watch Series 4, you have the Samsung Galaxy Watch in rose gold 42mm and the 40mm Samsung Active 2. Pretty big difference as you can see, but again, this so far is actually really enticing for someone with my size wrist because it will take up that space as compared to my 40mm Samsung Active 2 and my 42mm Samsung watch with the bezel, which I did like. The only thing I did not like about this watch is the fact that it scuffs up the edge, but I digress. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. If it has any juice. We'll give it a second there. And let me go ahead and get this set up for you guys. Okay, now that we're back, I did download the app. It was super simple, super easy. And here's kind of a look at the application. Very simple. Obviously, it's not gonna have any data. It's not gonna have anything since I haven't used it. But that's just to give you guys an idea of what the app looks like. Now again, just for comparison purposes, I did go ahead and pull up my Samsung app, which does seem to go a little more in depth in terms of what it has on the actual application that you can see once you open it. But again, that's gonna be something I'd have to review once I play around with it, mess around with it. I did mention this is gonna be solely off aesthetic. This is why I have these three here. I went ahead and put the watch bands back on just for comparison. This is the band it did come with straight out of the box. Unfortunately, it doesn't have a second option, but when we ordered it on the website, it did say to contact customer service if you needed a smaller band, which I'm probably gonna try and reach out to them and see if maybe we can get that just to have on hand. I don't know if they charge an extra fee, but I promise you guys we will update you with all that on our next video. So I did purchase the larger band for the Active 2 simply because, like I mentioned, I have a really big wrist and the stock ones that they came with just did not do the job. So you can head over to Amazon, pick something up from there, whatever fits your wrist. I actually have a tape measure for that exact reason. Maybe if some of you out there who also share my same problem. This one from tip to the actual latch is 10 inches including the face. Then you have the OnePlus watch, which is about 10.5 inches, 11 inches complete to the very end. And the Apple coming in under about 9.5 inches to the clasp. So again, this is just comparison for you guys. This is some things that I look for. I know it's super important for me because I can't really find anything that caters to what I'm looking for. Usually I have to buy something from either Amazon or from any kind of third party. It never comes stock. So seeing this is really a huge plus for me. Now, one thing I did notice is that this is really simple. I do know that they're planning on uploading or updating the app so you can get access to more faces. Didn't really give me much of an option. And one thing that I noticed, at least when it's on, you kind of have to set it up to do that double tap. It doesn't have that double tap accessibility like I know my Active 2 and the Apple Watch do. You kind of actually have to manually touch the button. Not a big issue. I guess it kind of saves on energy since this is supposed to last 14 days, but it does come on, as you can see, when you flick your wrist up. Something I thought was really interesting when you're setting up the app is it does ask you where you plan on placing your watch. You put it on your left wrist, your right. I personally wear it on my left since it is closer to your heart. But again, if you guys choose whichever one you want to pick, it does have an option for you. And again, there's no data because I don't have any usage. So jumping into the specs, this is a 46mm midnight black with silver tone stainless steel build. Super heavy, honestly, when you hold it in your hand first time. Nothing compared to the Apple Watch 4, and definitely nothing in comparison to the Active 2. Actually, the Active 2, in my opinion, is probably a little heavier than the Apple 4. But I like that, and it also does have that nice finish. Again, we're reviewing the OnePlus, but it's always nice to have this honest comparisons, because honestly, if you have something at home, it's really nice to know what you're getting before you spend your money. That's just my opinion, but I digress. So it does have 1 GB of RAM, 4 GB of memory, which, looking on the website, it does say that some of that is taken up by the software, so we'll have to look more into the actual memory of this watch. I do know you can store your music up to 500 songs, which is convenient, so you don't have to take your phone with you. But if you're someone like me, you probably have it with you anyways. It might not make that big of a difference for you. It does have an AMOLED screen, which is 1.39 inches, and it does have GPS, heart rate monitor, and something I'm particularly interested in is the SpO2 monitor, which does keep track up to 5 days in your sleep. So I'm, again, just being upfront, I have no way of verifying any of this until I actually use it, but I definitely will give you guys my opinion, especially someone who has asthma. I don't know if anyone else out there is curious about it. This might be a good way of keeping track of where you stand as far as your activity and keeping a good idea of when you might need to use your inhaler. Again, that's very niche, very specific to me, in case anyone out there shares my same problem. It does have over 100 plus workouts, and I know that they keep talking about parkour. Me personally, I won't be using that functionality, but that's something that's really creative that they came out with for people who maybe are doing just any kind of activity that isn't based on the catalog for the Active 2 or the Apple Watch. I know both of these are really limited on the activities they have on there. However, Apple doesn't have anywhere near the same amount of activity that you have on your Active 2. But this one completely blows this one out of the water with over 100, I think it's 100 or 150 workouts that you can keep track of. Now, one thing they did mention is that this watch is not compatible with iPhone, and that's something that they do plan on changing. I don't know how far in the future that's going to be, but if you have iPhone, completely disregard this, at least for now, because you guys won't be able to use it unless you have a spare phone and only plan on using it just for its functionality. In the meantime, we'll have to just keep you guys updated, and I really appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to kind of break this down. Again, I'm just being honest, I have no idea on how to do these reviews, but as a average everyday person who kind of looks at something and thinks, oh hey, that's pretty cool, I want to go ahead and check it out for myself, especially because I keep watching reviews and they're talking about all the tech stuff, but I want to know if it's going to get something done for me in terms of someone who's trying to change their lifestyle, trying to maybe get a little more invested in the health aspect of tech, and trying to obviously use it without feeling like it's too complex. So from now, what I can see, very simple, looks very user-friendly, and I promise to fill you guys in, at least with my honest opinion, once we do this in about a week, and we will go from there. Thank you guys so much for giving me the opportunity. We hope you'll come back for our second review, and from the bottom of my heart, have a great day. Thank you.